say it happened in a time now that exists, only in some distant place. It happened in a land tucked away in a corner of the British Isles, a land wrinkled with hills, shrouded in forests of mystery, a land crawling with tales, with stories. Began with the king. He was a lesser king of a lesser kingdom, but he was a king nonetheless. King Herod by name, one who loved the hunt. On a fateful day, he and his men were out galloping across the meadow toward the distant dark shapes that were grazing near the forest edge. Do you feel it, men? There's a strange aura in the air. Do you feel it? It bodes well for the hunt. Tonight, we shall feast! Ha! They galloped hard and fast with those distant shapes. When they felt the rumble of the ground beneath them, those dark shapes, the wild boar turned around. They squealed and then plunged into the forest, their tusks and their bristling hide glinting beneath the hot sun. Quick, men! Divide up! There's enough for each to a man. Everyone who brings back his prize will get another prize. Come on, man. Orwin, come with me. There are two ahead. And so with his riding companion, he rode hard and fast, galloping and dodging the branches that whipped past their faces until he heard a rip. He reined in his horse up short, looked back, file that. His wineskin ripped, and now lay in shreds, with the cool cargo spilling down to the ground. Ah, I cannot believe this. Wait! My eyes deceive me. Is that a trick of light, Orwin? Or do I spy a white boar? Orwin turned around. Wash! It was rumored across the land that the white boar was a special talisman. It was a portal between this world and another world. And anyone who could catch or kill the white boar would have mastery over both, and could freely at will ride back and forth between the two realms. Yes, this is indeed a fateful day. You shall be ours. Come on, Orwin. Let's get him. Die! When the boar turned and saw them, he squealed and plunged down the other side of the ridge. It was a merry chase, up and down, over the hills and ridges, until King Herod had left his companion far behind. But he was edging closer and closer, closer to that white boar. He was just about to raise his voice there, flee it went. His horse stumbled, fleeing him. He rolled, came back upright with the spear poised. You are mine! He threw it. Whether it was a trick of blinding light, or whether it was his imagination, it flew. It seemed to go right through the white boar, who turned and charged straight toward him. He hurled himself to the side just as it passed and bounded away over a stream and vanished into the brush. King Herod lay down on the ground, suddenly fatigued. Why am I so weak? Perhaps I thirst. Yes, yonder stream shall aid my thirst. He picked himself up, walked over to that stream, knelt down and cupped his hand. But as he reached down to scoop up the cool water, the water inexplicably sank into the rocks. Is there some enchantment? What is this? When he drew back his hand, the water bubbled and gurgled back up. Surely this is a trick of my mind. He reached down again. Again it sank into the depths of earth. When he drew his hand back again, it bubbled up. He tried again and again, several times, and each time it flowed and sank until finally he threw a stone in, and the water splashing seemed to laugh. He sank to the earth, his head buried in his hands. The time seemed to shift. Whether he stayed there a minute, 10, or an hour, he couldn't tell. He couldn't say. But a voice shook him from his reverie. "King Herda, what ails thee, King?" His eyes flew open to see a strange sight. There, directly across the stream, stood a white goat, little nubs for its horns, and astride him sat what looked to be a short dwarf. Reddish hair, reddish beard, a golden circlet about his head. And where his feet should have been, there appeared hooves, gold cloven hooves, like the goat's. "How do you know my name?"
Well, you are famed, King Herda. After all, you are the king of this upper realm, are you not? And I am king of another realm. That makes us brothers. Again, what ails thee, king?
I thirst. There's a strange weakness that has flooded over me.
Perhaps you need this.
In his outstretched hand appeared a golden chalice, filled to the brim with sparkling liquid. Yes, that would soothe my thirst, please.
No. My hands are not long enough to stretch out across the stream. Come across, and if you make a pact, I shall give it.
King Herda began to think suspiciously. What sort of a pact or promise would we make, us two?
Very simple. We agreed, the two of us, to attend each other's wedding festivities. I will come to you when you wed, and you come to my realm when I wed.
Seemed like a harmless enough agreement. And so, King Herda did as people have done since time immemorial. He bargained away his future just to satisfy a fleeting thirst. He crossed the street. They clasped their arms in the pact, and then quickly grabbed the chalice, drained it down to the last drop, while this dwarf king eyed him intently.
Oh, excellent. Now we are truly brothers. Do you see yonder mount? It is Caper Idris, as you know, swirling in mystery. My realm, or the entrance to it, lies at the eastern slope, near the lake. When it comes time, then you will know. Come, knock on the great stone slab.
Just then they both heard Orwell's call for his king.
I must leave. We shall see you sometime in the future when we meet.
And then he vanished into the forge. Married that very fall, on a crisp autumn day, where the forest was covered in gold and red leaves. All was merry inside the great feasting hall. The music of dancing feet lifted high to the rafters above. And then, as they danced and sang, in swept the new queen, gliding like a breath of autumn herself, as gentle as a floating falling leaf. As she swirled around in grace, well, she caught the eye of every man there, from the oldest right down to the youngest, and made more than a few wives jealous. But her eyes were blazed with love only for her husband, who sat upon his throne, and every now and then she darted him a seductive glance. And when she had finished, she made her way up and sat beside him on her throne. It was then that the huge oak doors at the far end opened wide, and there was a flurry of excited whispers rippling through the crowd as in came several dwarves, each of them bent over with a chest on their back.
Hello,
They said as they came in. "Oh, it is my friend! Yes, come enter and join our feast and festivities." They marched in. All the crowd looked in amazement. Although they had heard of dwarves, no human had ever, in that age, ever seen one. Everyone reached out trying to touch a single portion of them, but they trudged through and dropped their chest, opened them up to reveal treasure. Gold and silver, one cast was completely filled with jewels of every color.
and great queen, I have for you a special gift.
He reached in and pulled out a beautiful scarlet red ruby necklace that was laced with gold.
Lean down, great queen.
She did so politely, as was her way. And as she bent over, the dwarf reached up and clicked the lock.
Forgive, great queen.
Then the dwarves turned and began mingling with the crowd. But the queen eyed them suspiciously. She felt something dark and ominous. As she watched them, she suddenly gathered courage and stopped the merriment as she stood. "Please, I beg you. I have not the gifts that many of you do, but please, husband, let me tell a tale from my youth." With his nod of assent,